Hi there everybody. Yeah, it's a bit earlier for me in the morning. I just wanted to share the other thing. Now I just watched, I'm behind the times now, so sorry about my reviews being so late and unreliable, but there you go. My other vocation has been taking an awful lot of my time out to the comment of what I say. But anyway, I watched Discovery start the STD episode 6. It weren't bad. I hold my breath. Them annoying Klingons are still there. And, they are annoying, but they are shaping up. There is potential there now. Are you actually listening to a CBS? Are you actually listening to the fan base? Are you actually listening to all the others? Are your co-writers, with respect, listening to hopefully everybody's comments? I don't know. I know I'm making a lot of them, but I don't do them very frequent, granted. But yeah, I was watching. Now, the similarities, I'm awfully offended about one thing, though, and that is, on this episode, you've got our fantastic crew of the Discovery leaping from place to place. Now, what I find, again, it is getting desperate because they're running out of ideas, so it would appear. Why use another great show, Stargate Universe's whole idea, where they used to leap from one place to another place? It's a clever idea in prospect, but in the Star Trek universe, I think we may all agree, what timeline is that? It was never documented that, other than in the far future episodes, which was covered in, I might incidentally say, correct me if I'm wrong, The Next Generation, and mainly Voyager. They were leaping from time to time. You'd occasionally have someone from the future, bang, coming in. Now, they were using the same leaping technology. Now, if this STD, with respect, great show, it's really livening up. I'm enjoying it now, I've got to say, as a person who follows sci-fi and that show in particular, from Inheritance, bless. That is that we're still not using our own ideas. We are still using other ideas. Jumping from space to space to space to space. Come on. There's more to that than that. The Klingons are getting more spiteful. They're getting more daring. They still got that ugly voice. But they're getting near. I mean, what they did with Mud, that don't make sense. I mean, Mud was in... I mean, the only time they covered in a Star Trek, if those who have watched this episode, they covered only the names of Pike from the original series, going back the original format, and then Archer, the little bit more moderner version, but still in the same format of that universe they're using. And now you got STD, depicts everything, but they're still using ideas, I would feel, from the Voyager's ideas. Let me think, give you a good example. They've just had their captain in this episode. He was abducted by the Klingons, prunes as they are, and not so many prunes now, but still squeaky bleeding gerbils on gas, on helium. So we've got our great old captain and a new member jumping. He's been now abducted by our lovely little Klingons, and to say the least, he has then now stepped into, he's been captured. They're saying, what is your pain? I think that's what it's called, name your pain, or something to that description. The titles don't often bother me much these days, because I'm still trying to work out this show, because it seems to be totally off the timeline that we would happen to be all used to. I think many people out there who are following Trek in my generation. Yeah, I'm an old fuddy-duddy, but I still follow it. But I do follow other sci-fi sagas as well. So I've got a big spectrum to choose from. I mean, I've got Stargate. Everyone was saying, oh no, nothing like it. But yet, the spinning disc, where's that been seen? Oh yeah, SG-1, spinning disc. Ain't that a surprise? With a super advanced Federation starship, meant to be in a timeline before Kirk. Wow, they were well behind. That must have been an old wreck with Kirk. But there you go. I'm not commenting on that. With respect to the authors and the co-writers and the directors, I still reckon the fan base are doing a better job. But neither here nor there. I'm not going to nog or dog any of you lot. I have respect for that. I'm a writer myself. I'm working on my own stuff. You ain't getting to see it yet because I've got two separate. I'm working on YouTube as well as my own stuff that I'm going to be promoting in a later time. That's neither here nor there. I have to say, with great respect and disappointment, there's this captain. He was captured by these gerbil helium speaking Klingons that are now becoming a problem. And surprise, surprise. Now let's think. I come to light with Deep Space Nine when Miles O'Brien got taken by the Cardassians because they were trying to prosecute him for war crime. Then I also look upon another aspect. Luke Picard from from Star Trek Next Generation. Similar circumstances. He was abducted. He was getting punished. The same methods they used. Fair enough, that seems a potential way of... That's a chosen way of getting information out of everybody. But then they use mud from the original series to become a spy for the Klingon Empire. Or whatever they want to call these Klingons. These gerbil helium speaking Klingons. They are beginning to look and shape as they did. But I still don't like their features. They still look like prunes. I think we must all agree. Them Klingons, change them. They're not right. Their attitude is, well, it's coming there. But them themselves are not Klingons. They speak with a high-pitched voice. No threatening apart from one factor. It's Tikar or whatever his name is. And then Mikey communicating with a beastie. And found that it's an sentient being. They let it loose. Yeah. What can you say? I think they could have done more with that one. But unless you've seen it or you got to see it, I would recommend watching it. Then you might see where I'm coming from. Especially if you're like me. Follow these Trekkie situations. There's no timeline comparison, even with the movies. Where is the timeline? This is what? A third timeline they seem to be inventing. We haven't got the original timeline we're all used to and we're familiar with, and that's why they were so successful. We haven't got the alternate universe where they made 3 movies, which is equally as good. Especially the characters, they've rolled in nicely to the characters they are. And now you've got STD. STD, Star Trek Discovery. I don't mind the show. I still think the theme tune is wrong. That is such a bad theme tune. Change it a little bit. Make it spunkier. I like the way you're starting it. As I keep saying, emphasising that it's a great way to start it. But the theme tune is still lame. Lame to a degree. What do we want? I don't know. We want more Trekkie, not more other franchise. You know, like you're using many ideas from other franchise. I do suspect, and I do see, you're still using Battlestar Galactica. You're still using, not so much Farscape now. You're using, what do they call that one? you're using all the Stargate franchise in many of your ideas. Love it, but it doesn't work in the Star Trek universe, as everybody is getting used to knowing, even us oldies. But you're also using the Battlestar Galactica and Space and Above. The fight scenes are starting to, the space fight scenes are seeming a bit lacking at the moment. It's still too early. It's still in season 1. Granted that. But I still feel it's a weak story. It's a weak title. And then I still do reflect on the fan base. Star Trek Continues, which sadly enough I believe is finishing soon. And that is good. Now that I still would say, CBS, you should have taken that. I know you had all these cool things going on. Regrettably, it's a sore subject with all the fan base, production workers that are doing a very mighty fine job. I won't disagree with that. But they have got the right idea. You had, let's be honest, you had Star Trek Discovery. Brilliant. Then you had that one, where one of the main characters from the original crew, I think he helped to direct, but he did introduce it. Where, again, I might add, what you're using with the Discovery is a slight idea from that, where there was a rogue agents from the Marquis and some other factor that Starfleet are using to get what their result is. But we're losing the track on where I'm still talking about STD. Now I'm going to be doing this quite regularly as I can with my hours in my other vocation. And I have to say, it's alright. I like the idea. But I still reckon either Star Trek Continues should have been the new chosen subject, the new chosen show, or the movie that was done by the fan base as well, before Continues hit the limelight. That I think CBS, with respect, no disrespect with CBS, I'm a great fan of yous anyway. Maybe the fan base colleague, friends or associates out there would probably disagree with me on that. But hell man, I'd like you to take some of my other stuff that I can't produce. A 4-season thing, but I'm not punching that. That's nothing to do with the Star Trek universe. It is to do with something that I know yous do actually use. Scripts are all done, but no one wants them. Again, I've got the conflictions that your co-writers and producers have got with a number of my productions. But anyway, I'm not talking about that. I'm not punching my stuff. All I'm doing is saying that keep the good work up. You're doing well. You're shaping up those annoying helium-speaking Klingons in a good way, which no one's complaining. I'm certainly not. Because they're starting to look, the Klingons, they're starting to build like the Klingons we are aware of, we are familiar with. Which is alright. I was starting homing into them, and I must be getting soft or senile. Or tired, one of them two. I'm honing into them. But your storylines are still a bit weak. Stop using, if you can, give us some new ideas. I know we're still in season 1 and all season 1 has been written, and no doubt you've already, going by how I work, your co-writers and producers have probably done exactly what I've done. I've done 3 main shows. One's halfway through. It's going to be finishing next season. And I've got a new show which I'm writing. I'm already entering season 2 on that one as well. That's nothing like this. It's other stuff as well. And then look what I did with a show that I was going to be called. It was called, I will say the show, I'm not frightened to admit it. I had a show which was called Another Limit. Another Limit. Reason why I'm on 4 seasons and I've terminated at that is because a lot of the stories in that Another Limit conflict with obviously super powerful films and shows that have come out, and because of the copyright rulings, I can be in trouble if I use them, possibly, but I'm not punching another limit. Another limit still exists, but it ain't getting made because of the copyright problems that I may accompany with it, and the lack of backing that I'm not getting. I need a major backing for those productions. But anyway, I'm not here to punch them. I'm still doing Star Trek. I'm still doing Star Trek Discovery. And I'll do as much as I can with that. Many people may not agree with what I say. And many people may do. But as I always say on every one of these, this is my third one now. Because I don't do every show. Some shows are just done, I can't even put a comment on. They're good, they're viewable, they're enjoyable. Lacking the storyline, but they're all right. And then you go into the exceptional shows, which suddenly, bing bash bosh, oh look, we're back at Next Generation, the original show, Enterprise. Oh look, we're also now at SGU. Another franchise. Come on, co-writers, get your heads together and think carefully on how you're writing these products. If you want this show to accomplish what you've done with the predecessors, recent predecessors, not Enterprise, unfortunately that only went 4 seasons, 5 seasons, didn't go very far. It could have, there was a lot of potential there, but budgets, etc, etc, etc. We're not going into the politics of productions. I'm into that myself, but I'm not as so well known as yourselves. But I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about these shows. STD, great show, still great, still entertaining, but we're still lacking something. We're still lacking explanation, and we're still lacking something that we can enjoy. And that's what I'm going to say tonight on this one. But those who haven't watched it, Star Trek Discovery, watch it. Put your take on, as I say with everybody. Always put your take on. But I would recommend watching the fan base as well. The fan base is another thing to watch. Some of them are pretty good. Not all of them, but some of them. Anyway, I've said all I can. I can't punch too much, because then I'll probably get into trouble. I'm not trying to get in trouble. I'm just putting my word across, my views across of these said productions. Enjoy or not? View, if you want to see more of this, always subscribe. Marty Mitchell, Orange M. Click on subscribe. Bing, we're there. And there's many more of this, as well as my own shows and other things. Other reviews, foreign reviews soon to come. Anyway, that's what I'm saying about my stuff. But this is strictly STD. I'll speak to you soon, but this time I'm touching Doctor Who. Or whatever you want to call her. Nails are getting done now. So, hold on to the world's demise. Got to do my nails. Give you an idea. Doctor Who's the next review. Bye, and thank you for watching. If not, anyway, enjoy. Bye now. Sleep tight, if you can. Unless you're like me. Sleep, what's that? Pass? I don't know. Oh, it's that thing you close your eyes. What eyes? Oh yeah, they keep me awake. Night. Bye.